check.
Greetings, you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on the John Campea YouTube channel. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your pharaoh of physical media, Robert Meyer Burnett, with lots of love for you. So there you all go. This is Let's Get Physical Media, episode number 130. 130. You know, that's a lot of times I've talked to your favorite German, my favorite German, everyone's favorite German, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. Dieter, Bastian, COVID Boy.
COVID Boy is back. Exactly, Rob, because I contracted COVID for some days, but I'm negative now. Little low on energy, but nevertheless, I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media, where we talk about all the stuff that we got this week and what's happening in the industry a little bit. So, Rob, I heard.
Wait. Hang on a second. Hold on. I gotta talk about your background. Look what you got behind you. You got your favorite girl. You got J-Law. How excited are you for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? By the way, I have heard the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is excellent. I hear it's an incredible film.
Yeah, nice.
Francis, our boy Franny Lawrence knocked that sucker out of the park, apparently.
I hope so, Rob. I have read the book, so I'm really looking forward if he could condense it into one movie, even it is a longest one in the franchise. So I'm really looking forward. I have my tickets already for Friday, and I thought it would be nice to bring the first one from the franchise out for this evening.
Always be promoting. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Always be
Will you
promoting.
Will you find time, Rob, to watch it this week?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. Give me a good sci-fi dystopian thriller, and I'm there. I'm there for you.
Nice.
You know, speaking of always be promoting, I got to talk about what I did the past week.
Exactly.
Now, you heard it on the last show. So many of you know that Mike Bodden and I, my business partner, we are launching Imagination Connoisseurs Unlimited, our new company that is going to be producing fan-oriented material, genre material, great genre material. And our very first project is the audio dramas that I have been talking about. The Nathan Heler audio drama, here it is. Here's his latest book that came out last month, Too Many Bullets, written by the great Max Allan Collins, who's written just about everything under the sun. But Max wrote the graphic novel that the movie Road to Perdition is based on. He also actually wrote the Dick Tracy comic strips for the Chicago Tribune. He took over after Chester Gould basically handpicked him. He has a fascinating life. He's an incredible writer. So we are turning his character, Nathan Heler, the 19-book series about Nathan Heler, who I like to call the Zelig of private detectives. There's a reference for you. He began his career in the early 30s, and Too Many Bullets takes place in the late 60s. And director John Frankenheimer is a character in this book. But anyway, what's cool about that is so we've already recorded the proof of concept, and we're going to launch a Kickstarter campaign, and we're hoping that a big component of this is physical media. We're going to create 5.1 mixes that'll be on Blu-rays. And we're also going to create special edition vinyl, fold-out vinyl. And we figure the first drama, which will be the first 2 books that Max wrote about Nathan Heller that deal with the assassination of Chicago Mayor Cermak, True Detective and True Crime are the first 2 books. We're combining them into one long audio drama. And Todd Stashwick, Liam Shaw from Star Trek Picard Season 3, is playing Nathan Heller. And we're going to have a whole star-studded cast, and we're going to launch a Kickstarter campaign in the next couple weeks. But I got to go and meet Max in Davenport, Iowa, where we recorded a interview, and then I went to his house in a secret, undisclosed location, also somewhere in Iowa. Now, here's the thing about Max. Now, great writer. I've always admired him. He wrote Batman comics in the 80s. Max was saying, he tells me that the reason we even became friends is because he was already a fan of this show, Dieter. He's a fan of you. You, Dieter Bastian.
Thank you, Max.
Well, so, it's one thing when people say that they have a good physical media collection. It's another thing to say, or it's another thing to experience when you go to someone's house who's claimed they've had a physical media collection, and then you're blown away by it.
Ooh.
I would say that Max has got this great house right off the Mississippi River somewhere. That's a long place. That's a lot of places to go. But he has an incredibly lovely wife, and there's even a pinup of her somewhere in his house, but I won't tell you where. Lovely, and she was lovely. It was kind of weird because I figured I had to live up to the hype when I met her. I hope I didn't let her down. But here's a picture of Max. In just his whole house is full. He's got the most amazing collection of comic strip art I've ever seen. It's priceless. His pinups are amazing. He's got original pinups. He even has the original key art for the sequel to Chinatown, The Two Jakes. I even picked up he had the Laserdisc. I was like, oh my God. I picked up the Laserdisc and held it up right next to the actual art that is on the cover of the Laserdisc. You don't get to do that very often in your life, but I did. Here is a picture, Dieter. Here's a picture of Max at his house with a fraction of his physical media collection. Now, here it is. Now, if you notice to the right of him, he has the Emmanuel box set, dude.
Exactly. I see that.
He's got the German Emmanuel box set. I mean, you can't really, if you start delving into that, the Criterion Fellini box set is out there, the great Batman box set. This is a mere fraction of his collection.
Yeah.
It's very stylishly, but you can see, look at the grin on his face. He's like a kid. Oh. He's like a kid in a candy store. He's one of us. Store. One of us. Look, he's got the Criterion Citizen Kane up there. He's got it all. He's a true believer. And it was great meeting him. And one day we're going to have him come on this show because he's actually made movies. His movies, Mommy, are on Blu-ray. He's a director as well. And he's finishing up a movie right now that he's currently editing that will also be on physical media. And, of course, you and I will be able to shill our physical media that we're going to make. Well, you're not going to make it, but from his book, True Noir, the Nathan Heller Case Books. That's the name of our radio drama, and it stars Todd Stashwick. We also took Todd Stashwick with us to Chicago. We met him in Chicago, and we walked around with him. He reminisced about what it was like growing up as an actor in Chicago. Here's a picture I took of him. Oops, I should have blown it up. Right outside his apartment, right in what's called Wrigleyville by Wrigley Stadium. And he took us to Second City. He's a Second City alum, and I took this picture of him as we were shooting him, which was really, really cool. So, hey, that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun meeting Max Allan Collins and seeing his collection is unparalleled of stuff. Just I could have, and apparently he's got even more in his basement. And I didn't even get to see his basement because we only had a short period of time with him because we had to go to Chicago, drive 3 hours, and go meet Todd, pick him up at the airport. So
and speaking of Todd Stashwick, I actually went through his IMDb if I have movies of him.
Yes,
and
you do.
I didn't even know, Rob, that he had a little part in more the German movie Friendship, which features Matthias Schweighöfer, which most people of us know as Dieter in the Army of Dead movie from Zack Snyder, and he even played a little role in Oppenheimer. So I didn't know George Schleswig was in this, and he had a role in The Air I Breathe. And Welcome to the Jungle, also with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So I have some movies with him.
There you go.
I did find out.
No, he's a great guy. We had a lot of fun with him in Chicago. It went very, very well. So enough promoting our stuff and enough promoting. By the way, one more time, this book, Too Many Bullets, is out now. It came out last month. You should pick it up. I don't think it should be your first Nathan Heller book, though.
Yeah, okay.
Although, I'm telling you, the stuff's great.
But they're not continuous story, Rob. So you can read them separately.
Yeah, you can read them separately. Separately. But they're all. I mean, he's just a great writer, and yeah. So when he watches this show, Dietz.
Nice. So Rob, I heard this morning on the 900 show that you have seen that little movie that opened up this weekend at the box office. So is your theory that moms and daughters come out to see the girl power still holds up this weekend?
Well, the thing is, only the moms and daughters showed up. You can't remember, like, the audience for these movies is predominantly male. You know, well, look, I know you want to, Schadenfreude.
Not Schadenfreude, but like you said this morning, exactly. What I like when you described the first phases of the MCU, you always had the feeling, even if it is fantasy, it could happen right outside our window.
Yes.
It could happen. But now, like you said this morning, it's just gobbledygook.
It's all gobbledygook.
Yeah, exactly.
And they
and you use the word that you hate to use. You said it was boring. You hate to use the word boring when you describe.
I hate it.
Movie.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, I know some people found it delightful, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's been 30 plus Marvel movies, and there is no excuse to be treading water or this weird. You know what this movie also lacked for me was gravitas, and what it really lacked was it also lacked a look, any story, any great story, and especially a fantasy story, science fiction, fantasy, horror genre, a genre story. The best genre stories always have a character who you understand what it is that they want and what it is that they're after. In terms of, like, what do they want, but also it's not just what they personally want, but what are they. It's usually they want a different play. They want their life to change somehow. They might want to achieve a goal, but they want ultimately their life to change in some way. And that's what makes stories interesting. And I thought in this film, I really don't understand how you come off a $1 billion movie like Captain Marvel. Regardless whether people liked it or not, it still made $1 billion. And, you know, they should have made, if I was going to make a follow-up to Captain Marvel, and I was working in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a post-Thanos snap movie, I would have really delved into the character. Like, how did the 5 years that Carol Danvers was dealing with the universe and putting out fires all over the place, what toll did that take on her? You know, like, as a person, as an individual, what did she learn about herself? Like, we have these superheroes, they have completely breezed by the fact that with the Avengers, I mean, we saw Steve Rogers and Natasha talking in Endgame a little bit about trying to keep it all together.
Yeah.
But you had 5 years where these characters, these heroes, dealt with the fact that they lost to Thanos. And half the population of the universe disappeared. I mean, I can't think of anything that's more PTSD stress-inducing than that. And at the same time, you're trying to pick up the pieces of ravaged civilizations around the universe. And they could have done, I'm not saying you can't tell us some uplifting, heroic superhero story, but I would really have liked a movie to have delved into Carol Danvers. I really would have. Brie Larson's an Academy Award-winning actress. Instead, we kind of got this. I mean, yeah, there's sort of this apocalyptic thing happening with a second-rate villain, Ronan the Accuser light, I guess. and you've got these. It's all girl power, and I understand. I loved Aman Vellani; she was great. But I'm just watching this movie, going, why are you telling me this story? If you only are, how many Captain Marvel movies are there going to be? Well, now I guess there's only going to be 2. But you've chosen to take this character, this larger-than-life character, and you're telling a story. First of all, if I was Brie Larson, I wouldn't have even done the movie, because why is she sharing the screen with 2 TV stars? Why? I mean, she's a billion-dollar MCU player, whether the movie deserved it or not. Why is she having to share the I mean, I get it. I understand what they want to do, but by God, you can say what you want about why this movie failed at the box office. It's not the story that fans of the MCU wanted to see. As much as the people making the movie might have thought, you have to understand, read your fucking audience, man. I mean, if you're going to watch a cosmic superhero film, I don't want to watch, some of this is like a comedy. And you can always have comedic things in it. I don't know. Did you see it?
No, I have not.
You have COVID.
I have not.
I
had an excuse, but I didn't need one.
I mean, what's really interesting is Anthony D'Alessandro obviously says, here's the headline: The Marvels meltdown. Exactly. Disney MCU posts lowest box office opening ever at $47 million. What went wrong? What went wrong is they made the wrong movie. That's what went wrong. And I don't know what brain trust. I mean, Kevin Feige, I used to run around calling him my Lord and Savior of the comic book movies or whatever. I fail to understand who at Disney thought this particular Captain Marvel tale was something that they should. I mean, they're like, well, we have to bring back, Monica Rambeau, and we have to bring back Miss Marvel, and we're going to tie them all together. Like, why? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to take 2 TV characters and put them in a movie? First of all, WandaVision was the first MCU TV show. That was how long ago? Nobody even remembers what happened in that show. I mean, you had Multiverse of Madness come out as a sequel to WandaVision, and now you're reintroducing a character that we only saw in WandaVision? I mean, it's such a weird, it's so mismanaged and misguided. But anyway, let's get into this. The last-minute push for the Marvels with an appearance by star Brie Larson on Friday's The Tonight Show and a theater at NYC post-actor strike have not moved weekend grosses any higher for Marvel Studios' The Marvels. The film is posting a 3-day at the bottom of yesterday's estimates with $47 million, the lowest ever for Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe. Don't blame the running time, as The Marvels clocks in at 97 minutes versus other MCU picks, which have run times over 2.5 hours. In regards to U.S. admissions, The Marvel came in per Intelligence at 3.3 million compared to other superhero bombs, Flash's 3.9 million, and The Eternals 5.5 million. Also, The Marvels got one of several post-pandemic B cinema scores from audiences after Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which got a B+, Thor: Love and Thunder got a B+, Eternals got a B, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania got a B. I mean, okay, look at that. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was kind of fun, but again, it wasn't great. Why wasn't it great? Because it strayed away from telling us a story about our core character, which is Doctor Strange. Everybody was more excited to see the multiverse versions of different characters, and they all got dispatched within 5 minutes. And it's like, what happened to your storytelling, guys? I mean, this is not rocket science. Any Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, any fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, none of them were excited for the Marvels. They knew this movie. How did they not know that this movie, nobody was excited for this movie? No one. Even the trailers, even me, I'm an easy lay when it comes to superhero movies. But if you don't deliver the goods, man, I mean,
that's the result.
Not good.
The box office, not good.
And I'll tell you something, that you can't, they really need to reassess, because this whole, they have run themselves off the road into a cul-de-sac they can't get out of. If I were them, I mean, now we hear reports that Captain America: Brave New World is having terrible test screenings, and
Okay.
they're dumping 3 big sequences I've read, and they're going to reshoot, and the movie's pushed into 2025.
Perhaps it's a good thing, Rob, that next year there's no Marvel movie besides the Deadpool Wolverine stuff coming out, which for me is a little bit more a Fox thing. So
Yeah.
perhaps it's good that we next year get a year off from the MCU. Perhaps it's a good thing.
Well, it's not getting it's not, first of all, it's not the saturation. It's the fact that they're not good anymore. And I mean, you can say Multiverse of Madness made a lot of money. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 I quite enjoyed, but the Guardians of the Galaxy movies could exist without the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the trilogy is kind of, I mean, they've appeared in other places, but between the 3 movies and the holiday special, that is a really great trilogy that could absolutely exist, and it'll be
Its own.
on its own.
Yeah.
And it's successful. This stuff, there's no excuse. Love and Thunder, Quantum Mania, Captain Marvel, 3 strikes, they're out. They're out. I have to say, I can't wait to see Deadpool 3. But like you said, I don't even consider it an MCU movie. It's a Fox movie. I never thought that my interest, I did like the ending of Loki, but I'm done. I loved the Infinity Saga. And as far as I'm concerned, and I even enjoyed, I liked Shang-Chi, I liked Eternals. A lot of people didn't, but I enjoyed it from a sci-fi perspective. Those movies apparently are meaningless because we haven't heard anything about them. Yeah. And so, what a bummer. And then what they've done is, I mean, they're damaging their brand. And that's what I find, I don't understand why Marvel does not get the fact that these movies are not connecting the way their other movies connected. I mean, they're just not, and they're in a way it's getting painful to watch for me. But
do you have a worldwide number, Rob, for us? A worldwide box office?
Not yet.
I
don't yet. Here, let me. Number 2, by the way. What was number 2? Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is now up to 127.2 million domestic. Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour was number 3. Go Taylor Swift, 172.5 domestic. Priscilla, the new movie from Sofia Coppola about Priscilla Presley, did 4.8 million, up to 12.7 million. Killers of the Flower Moon domestically has made 59.9 million, which has a different economic need. So when people say it's a $200 million movie, the analytics are different on the film, so it's hanging in there. The new Alexander Payne film, The Holdovers, that everybody wants to see. I want to see it. It's supposed to be really good. 4.27 million. Journey to Bethlehem got an A- cinema score. It's a pop musical about the nativity.
Okay.
I guess a good Christmas movie. That made 2.4 million. Tiger 3, which is an Indian film, made 2.25 million. Paw Patrol 2 is up to 64.5 million. Radical, which I don't even know what that is at 5.2 million. And of course, at number 11, Exorcist, The Believer, 64.9 million.
Nice.
So there you go. But you know what? Okay. That's not the real news I wanted to cover. I'm sure you heard about on Friday, the Hollywood Reporter published an article that we have to cover. We have to cover on the show, so I'm going to lay it on you, buddy. Here, you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, this will come as no surprise to anybody who watches. See, here's what's so funny to me about Hollywood. I don't think there's ever been a time in my life where I read Hollywood pundits and I listen to decisions that studio heads made, and it's clear to me that the people that are working in the entertainment business do not know fuck all about the entertainment business. They're not paying attention. They don't know anything from a business standpoint, because it seems to me that all of these people that work in Hollywood that are now making the decisions are not even watching their own product. They don't even know what they're doing in terms of, what are we making? Who are we making it for? They're truly people that are looking at analytics, and they're playing ball the way a corporation would. And if you're a corporation that makes Coca-Cola, all right, you can actually, Coca-Cola is a product. It's a consumable product. You can see where you're doing well with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But With movies, movies are not Coca-Cola. If you make a film, you have to understand, first of all, why did you make this movie? Who is it for? What is your audience? Did you hear how this movie, Coyote versus Acme, has been shelved by Warner Brothers?
You told us about on the 900 show. Yeah.
Here's a movie that even the people that were working on it didn't know that it was going to get shelved for tax purposes. So at some point, David Zaslav, in his infinite wisdom, they probably ran analytics, and it said to them that this movie is not going to make any money. Who is it appealing to? And I'll tell you something. I get that. I can only imagine if from corporate minders, they're now running analytics. Some companies come along and said, we can predict what movies are going to make money because they're using other movies, like-minded movies, to look at and go, here's the trends for these things. Well, as anyone knows, in Hollywood, the only way to make real money is to not follow trends. You have to set trends. And anyone who grew up with Looney Tunes cartoons that knows who the Coyote and the Roadrunner are.
Yeah.
And you know who the Acme company is.
Yes,
and you understand all that. This goes back a long time. Decades of Americana. Everybody knows Looney Tunes. Everybody knows Animaniacs. Everybody grew up with this. But I can only imagine some analytics company is like, well, there's no precedent. Nobody's going to want to go see Coyote versus Acme. They're fucking dumb. First of all, it's based on an article. I think the article wasn't in the New Yorker. Maybe it was, but this idea, I am willing to bet you, and just they didn't even. The movie's done. It was test screening well, but you know what?
The movie is finished, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was test screening well, and it was supposed to open. It was supposed to already open. They moved movies around. Here's what happened. And by the way, this is just a theory. I've not talked to anybody. Here's what happened in this movie. They ran analytics. David Zaslav's like, I don't even understand what this movie's about. Because David Zaslav, I bet if you asked David Zaslav, hey man, give me a Looney Tunes character. If you walked up to him and said, maybe he'll give you Bugs Bunny. Maybe. I mean, if you went suffering fuckatash, would he know who that was? Probably not. The Coachella Valley. I mean, if you went and asked him, what do you think Coyote versus Acme means? I mean, you could say, well, let me put it to you in terms you'd understand. The Acme company has been victimizing this poor fucking Coyote for decades, blowing him up, causing him to fall off cliffs. I mean, I don't even know what the plot of this movie is. But already when I hear Coyote versus Acme, if you made that trailer, if you put that trailer out, just put the trailer out, I am willing to bet you that trailer would get millions upon millions of views in...
Could be right about it.
Oh, I am right. And I'll flat out say it. I'm like, I'm right. I'd release that movie. I'd make the trailer. I'd go out and show, look, in 24 hours, this trailer got 50 million views. The people at Warner Brothers that are now the David Zaslavs of it all, they don't know what the fuck that movie even is. They have no idea what it is. It's their product. And they're going, Coyote versus Acme. What does it even mean? They don't know. And they're in charge. They're making these decisions. And I'm sorry. I mean, I see this across. This is happening throughout Hollywood. It's happening throughout Hollywood. You now have people like the people at Warner Brothers. Now they'll sit and they say they knew it all the time. But did they have any idea Barbie was going to be one of their highest grossing movies ever? No. No
one.
Yeah, they don't know. I mean, if they were smart, they would have had a fucking trailer for Coyote versus Acme in front of Barbie.
Definitely. Yeah.
Why they don't, why they didn't, don't know. That just shows how brain dead they are. And I'll flat out say it. It's across the board. Because what are they doing now? They're not even anyway, we're off topic. Let me get to this article I want to read.
Yeah. But they're shelving the movie, Rob. No.
Okay, here's the thing. It's even worse than shelving the movie. when they do this, when they write it off, not only is the movie shelved, anything to do with the movie, the music score that was written for it, any of the design work that was done for it, it all disappears. They might as well put all the elements, take all the drives that were used to cut the movie, whatever, put them in a 50-gallon drum and bury it and fill it with, cover it in concrete. It's gone forever. So they've taken all the work of hundreds of people. It can never see the light of day again. Never.
But unlike the Batgirl movie, this was finished. A finished product.
Yeah, pretty much it was done from what I understand. I mean, I still think there's more post-work. It was supposed to come out, like I think this month originally. So, and they're writing it off for tax purposes. Because I'm sure that somebody just didn't get it.
Didn't get the memo.
Didn't get the fuck. And the thing is, they made this movie, and it's like, so they're going to write it off. I think they're getting a $35 million write-off or something. I guarantee you, this movie would have made that. If it didn't make it in its first weekend, it certainly would have made it in its next weekend. It would have outgrossed Captain Marvel. I'll tell you that.
And it would certainly, I would think, play well internationally also. Very good.
Are you kidding?
The characters.
I bet they would, like, especially in Asia, I bet they would have gone bonkers for this movie. But whoever was running the analytics or whatever, when they put it into their AI generated, whatever they're using, they don't know fuck all, because the people that are making these decisions, if you don't know what your product is, and they clearly didn't, if you're trying to run analytics, well, we wonder how this movie's going to do. If you don't have an understanding of the legacy of Looney Tunes, and you didn't like look into that, they didn't. I'm telling you right now, they didn't. So the people that know, a lot of the audience would know what Coyote versus Acme is, and they certainly would. They would totally get it if they saw a trailer. David Zaslav doesn't get it. David Zaslav was not a guy who watched Looney Tunes, and if he did, he didn't remember them. You know, nor did he watch Animaniacs. Nor does he know anything about what Coyote versus Acme is. And this is the problem with Hollywood, is all these people come in, they're trying to run Hollywood like it's a different kind of a corporation. If they forget, they want to keep it all commerce, but Hollywood is art and commerce. You know, and if you're not interested in that, if you're not paying any attention, these people don't know fuck all about movies or about the history of their own fucking studio. If you were to go, who's Mel Blanc or Mel Blanc? I like to say Mel Blanc. If you asked about the history of these characters, I mean, they wouldn't know. If you went to say David Zaslav, who's Yosemite Sam? I don't know. He wouldn't know. Fuck that guy. I used to be a big fan. Fuck him. They don't know what they're doing, and I don't think anybody should go work at Warner Brothers because you never know. You're going to make a movie, and some analytics team's going to say, nobody knows what this movie is, so we're going to shelve it and take the write-off. Well, I don't want to spend 2 years of my life working on a project that somebody comes along and says, sorry, we're not going to put this out.
We'll not see the light of day.
Fucking dumb. Anyway, we haven't even shown physical media. We're 40 minutes in. Let me read this article. So this article dropped in the Hollywood Reporter. Why the dying DVD business could be headed for a resurrection. Gosh, we've never talked anything like this. Netflix and Best Buy said adieu to discs, but with streamers deleting titles to cut costs, could DVDs and Blu-rays mimic the revival of vinyl and CDs? And this article is by Alex Weprin. This year has been a melancholic one for collectors of physical media. Okay, first of all, this year has been a melancholic one for collectors of physical media. DVDs and Blu-ray discs, once a source of billions in revenue for Hollywood companies, are at risk of becoming obsolete or at least irrelevant. Okay, first of all, where have you been, dude? This year was a fucking banger year for physical media. We are getting some incredible stuff. The only people that aren't giving us incredible stuff are the studios, because they're disinterested in home video. But how much fucking cool shit have we been getting this year on physical media from all the boutique companies, from Kino Lorber, their 4K transfers, from Criterion, from Radiance, from Second Sight, from Severin, from Imprint. I mean, you name it. it's this opening article. I'm like, who fucking wrote this article? Are you paying attention anyway? I'm sure he gets into it. The first blow came at the end of September when Netflix mailed its last DVD, a copy of the 2010 film True Grit, directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. As of November 1st, the DVD Netflix website functions as an interactive in memoriam page. Netflix's DVD business had dwindled in recent years, falling from over $1 billion in revenue in 2012 to $146 million by 2022, but it was a safe space for film fanatics who loved its immense library of new releases and classic films and shows that aren't available to stream. The shutdown was in many ways the end of an era, and while some, like Redbox, try to fill that gap, it is a service that apparently is unlikely to return. Then, Ingram Entertainment, once the largest distributor of DVDs in the country, said in September that it will exit the disc business. And in October, the country's biggest electronics retailer, Best Buy, said it would stop selling DVDs and Blu-rays at the end of 2023. To state the obvious, the way we watch movies and TV shows is much different today than it was decades ago, Best Buy spokesperson said in a statement, adding that removing the rows of discs gives us more space and opportunity to bring customers new and innovative tech for them to explore, discover, and enjoy. Well, we know that Best Buy is moving into healthcare. They're bringing in a bunch of healthcare electronics that people can have in their homes for our aging population. Smart business move. To be sure, the market isn't dead, especially with Amazon and Walmart still in the game. In fact, Media Play News reported over the summer that Walmart was in talks with Studio Distribution Services, a Universal Warner Brothers joint venture, about partnering on its physical media business. However, without Netflix and Best Buy, and with others perhaps set to follow, the fate of DVD home entertainment has never been more perilous. Yet there are also signs of hope. A significant strategic shift by major streamers paired with the current state of play in the music industry offers a potential way forward for physical media. Shocking that this article that came out Friday has a potential way forward for physical media. Really? Do tell. When Netflix launched its streaming business, you could find everything you wanted from every era of film and TV, available at all times. Everyone else followed that strategy, but now things are changing again. Warner Brothers Discovery just last year began a content purge of its streaming service HBO Max, now just Max, removing thousands of hours of programming. Disney Plus, Hulu, and Paramount Plus followed suit, canceling shows and culling old titles. As the cost of content will continue to rise in a post-strike world, even Netflix or Amazon might be tempted to remove titles to save a few bucks. That strategy shift, as jarring as it is to some creators and consumers, reinforces the value of physical media. It's a similar state of play with digital downloads, which you might buy from Amazon or iTunes, but can be removed from your library at any time. Studios could pull Westworld and Good Burger from Max, but not from your bookshelf. Then there's the lesson from the music industry, which was upended by streaming well before Hollywood. According to the Recording Industry Association of America's 2023 mid-year revenue report, while streaming accounts for 84% of music revenue, physical media is on the rise. Vinyl records are the main growth driver, but sales of CDs have also increased. The new data also shows lasting power of physical formats. Recording Industry of America CEO Mitch Glazier commented, adding that the physical revenues reached their highest level since a full decade ago, topping $880 million so far this year. Vinyl records, with their unique sound and artists willing to add bonus tracks and content that isn't available to stream, helped turn around music's physical media business. It's not unlike the behind-the-scenes access and director commentary that defined the DVD and Blu-ray era. With titles disappearing from streaming services at a rapid clip, it might be worth opening that DVD or Blu-ray distribution window one more time. Buy it now before it leaves your subscriptions and doesn't come back. So that was the article. Gosh. Yeah. I mean, everyone here.
Glimmer of hope.
I mean, it's look, again, why isn't anyone making money? Because everyone has taken leave of their senses. Everyone bought in. Everybody decided that Hollywood, that had a working business model for 100 fucking years, and it's ebbed and flowed, certainly, but everybody tried to suddenly change and wanted to get rich. They were drunk off this idea of streaming. And people don't realize at the core business of Hollywood, it's entertainment. And if you entertain people, you'll make money. It's as simple as that. A streaming service isn't just going to bring you money because you throw shit on it. You have to have a streaming service. First of all, when you have a movie that goes out theatrically and plays theatrically, it adds value to whatever that is. It adds value to the secondary market, whether it's streaming, whether it's, I didn't see Top Gun Maverick in the theaters. Everyone loved it. I'll sign up for Paramount Plus so I can watch it now. You have to do that. You create value with theatrical releases, and you have to make product, and you have to have a marketing department that understands what the fuck you've made. Clearly, nobody understood Coyote versus Acme. We could have a contest right now, and by the end of this show, which we're only going to keep to 2 hours, I promise, because you're sick. I guarantee you, by the end of this show, in an hour and 15 minutes, somebody could come up with a poster design for Coyote versus Acme that would explain exactly what the movie was, and you'd see that image and go, "Oh my God, I totally have to see that." That's all you'd have to do. They don't even know how to fucking do that. And so when it comes to physical media, people are buying, these boutique companies are making all kinds of crazy stuff that's worth buying. And we talk about it every week on this show. The studios, let's face it, the studios are not. They're looking at their business and they're going, "Oh, well, yeah, because we used to sell 20 million copies of Snow fucking White." And I get it. Because when the DVD business was new, DVDs were cheap. It was fun to buy them, all that. So the studios got drunk on their cash flow. The DVD business saved low-budget movies. It changed the viability of everything. I get it. And then people have only watched it steadily decline because of the rise of streaming. But what they're going to find out is that streamers are only going to keep the top 10% of movies that are made. All these other cult titles, they'll put stuff on Tubi or whatever because the studios, here's what the studios have done, which is, I think, even more insidious. They've thrown their catalogs out on all of these services where they're barely making a dime. Whether it's Tubi, take your pick, YouTube, watch with ads. They've completely diminished their own libraries by throwing them willy-nilly everywhere. They're not special. Nobody gives a fuck about a movie that's 20 years old anymore and more. They just don't care. They're like, "Well, we don't even know how you can monetize this anymore." Well, because you're not trying? Because you're listening to Wall Street? Come on, get creative. The people in Wall Street, they think of business as the same. Hollywood is a unique, interesting, creative business. And now you've hired all these business school graduates. We've now gotten to the place, when I was working at Warner Brothers 30 years ago, at least some people knew movies. Now,
I hope so.
Now the people running, even if you're 35 years old, you don't know fuck all about movies. You didn't grow up a movie fan. Jurassic Park to you is an old movie because you didn't watch it till you were 10. I mean, it's like, come on. And this is why the entertainment business is in the doldrums it's in. It's not just COVID. It's because everybody is running it. Let's put diversity, equity, and inclusion in our stories before we think about what our story should actually be. Look, I don't mind telling diverse stories. I'm the first person that says, I want to hear stories I haven't heard before. But the thing is, you can't lead with that. You can't allow your agenda or your universe to lead. You have to have a great character or great characters and a great story. This has been true for thousands of years. And they don't understand this now. And it's really frustrating. They are killing, the very people in charge of Hollywood are killing it. They are.
There you go, people. You heard it from the man. The myth,
there you go.
The legend.
Sorry.
Okay.
What is this show about? What are we talking
physical
about?
media, Rob.
Oh, you should show some physical media.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I have any. I have some. And those are already titles that Rob showed 1 or 2 weeks ago, because he has some connection to Kino Lorber. So I got the Cucho.
Yeah. Oh, have you watched that?
Okay. Oh, no, Rob. I got it, I think, yesterday. It was one of the last packages that came in yesterday. So Cucho. Then Rob got it too. Red Dragon. No, but it's the same cover artwork. And of course, the three big ones. We have American Ninja 2, Michael Dudikoff. American Ninja 1. Actually, Rob, I remember seeing that in the theater. And Enter the Ninja. So.
And what do I always say about ninjas, dude? Ninjas make everything better.
Exactly. So my Kino Lorber haul for this week. Then I bought a game. I waited a long time, actually, for a little bit of a price drop. And I think when it was released, there were, of course, as always, these days, technical issues. But now I bought it, and I only bought it for the PS5 because I have more space left on the PS5, and I hate to delete games and download them again. So I bought finally Jedi, the sequel to the first one, so Jedi Survivor. But like we always know, there's nothing really specific to the games anymore, and it didn't have a steelbook release or anything, even if this is the deluxe edition with some items then you can download. But what I always say, if you are thinking about buying a console digital or with the drive, I always would go for the drive. Simply not because of the fact we're physical media collectors. You can always get stuff on disc, perhaps a little bit cheaper than on digital. If you only buy the digital version, you have to stick with the store and the prices that they give you. But considering disc, you can always have a watch out, especially if you watch the international market. So this I bought from Germany, but I often buy from the UK, where games are a little cheaper. So if you have a disc drive, you can always find a little bit of a cheaper version of the game. But if you only buy the digital version, you have to go with the digital store and what they are offering. So this was the one game that came in. Then I bought, I think I showed it last week, and now I've got the Steelbook edition from Blue Beetle. And what I think I forgot to mention, what attracted me actually to Blue Beetle when I saw the trailer, I had a little bit of the Guyver, Bio Booster Armor feeling about it. And for me, if you watch that scene where he transformed, if you just would watch it without the sound, it looks horrific for me, which it should be. But if you watch it, it's more played for laughs, but it is a little bit more like body horror, like the stuff that Cronenberg does. So I would have loved it if the movie would have gone a little bit more that horror body horror type. So a little bit more of Bio Booster Armor, the Guyver. The next one, Rob, I always remember when you talked about the first movie that the Daily Wire released, or they bought it, as far as I know it. The movie was done, Run, Hide, Fight. And I always remember the first one they did, but I lost sight of it, and then it popped up again, and I did find out, hey, it is available in the Netherlands. So this is the first one.
Wait a minute. Wait, you just asked yourself if it was available in the Netherlands, just for fun?
No, Rob, considering the Daily Wire movies, they are really tough, considering the distribution internationally, if you can even get those movies.
By the way,
Fight was a little bit bigger, and I forgot that the movie Shut In. But somehow I stumbled across it again, and then I Googled, and I did find out that in the Netherlands, actually, it is available on Blu-ray.
That's crazy.
Movie Shut In. Yeah, exactly. And as you perhaps remember it, exactly, I got Terror on the Prairie with Gina Carano was released in France. So,
yeah.
So you really have to look to get those movies.
I got a lot of grief, when people. It was really interesting. Here's another. So I did a Robservations where I talked about the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro's company distributing movies, and everyone started attacking me because they don't like Ben Shapiro. And I'm like, okay, whether you like Ben Shapiro or not, that really wasn't the point of what I was discussing. From a filmmaking perspective, and anybody who's this is a new distribution entity, they have a really interesting way where they've got their millions of subscribers. I mean, to be honest, what I would like to do, Imagination Connoisseurs Unlimited, what I would like to do is if we had 5 million subscribers, we could make $5 million and less genre movies and release them to our subscribers directly. And if you had, let's say you had 10% or 20%, let's call it 20% of your 5 million subscribers. So that's what, a million? If you had 1 million people pay you $9.99 to watch your movie, I mean, and you made it for $3 to $4 million, you're in profit, you know, and that would be a great model. And I think that one of the reasons why for our audio drama, we are going to crowdfund it, but that's mostly because for perks and things like that. Like I want to make, you know, an 8-record vinyl set of the entire audio drama, you know, and make it really cool and create. Because if you figure that it's going to be an hour, it's probably going to be an 8-hour long. Yeah. So you'd have maybe a half an hour side. I haven't really looked into it. I've been looking into vinyl manufacturing, but with cool pictures. And like when we took Todd Stashwick to Chicago, we did so. We took a lot of video and pictures of him specifically to create physical media stuff, you know, and like the Daily Wire going direct to the people is a good way to be able to make low budget indie movies. Because right now, by the way, can I tell you something? So Tango Shalom is going to be on German television, but they made us edit 10 minutes out of it.
Really?
Yes.
Really? What? Why? Because of the running time?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, it was too long.
They wanted just a shorter version of the movie.
Yeah. Because it's 115 minutes. So they wanted 10 minutes gone from the movie, which we did, you know, but we did make a TV deal for Germany. So thank you, Germany. You can show it to your mom.
Do you know for which station?
I don't know.
Oh,
but I mean, I think that was an interesting, and frankly, I think that if you're working in a whatever you're making now, you know, whether you're making comic books like what Ethan Van Sciver or the Rippaverse did, what Eric July did with Isom, going direct to your consumers is a great way to go. You know, I don't think I'm there. I mean, this channel is a great way to promote material, you know, but I think what the Daily Wire did, you know, Run, Hide, Fight was a movie that people thought was too controversial because it was about terrorists attacking a school. Exactly. You know, so nobody had the balls to release it, but they picked it up and probably made some good money on it. You know, and going directly to, because here's the thing, the studios are proving that they really don't know what they're doing, because the people running the studios don't know anything about movies. I mean, what company has people running it that don't know their own product? Certainly Warner Brothers, the only Warner Archive knows, but the rest of the people don't know. They don't know. They had Warner Brothers celebrated. Looking back in terms of celebrating your 100th anniversary, Warner Brothers threw the most lackluster party. The only people that succeeded in throwing a more lame 100th anniversary party than Warner Brothers was fucking Disney. Oh, here's Cinderella and here's Snow White in 4K. Anyway, what are we talking about again?
About the Daily Wire stuff, Rob. So I got shut in. And Rob, have you seen the interview from the Critical Drinker with Ben Shapiro about the Snow White movie?
I have not watched that yet, but I do want to watch it. It was
a nice interview between Ben Shapiro and the Critical Drinker about their Snow White, you know, counterpoint to the Disney stuff, and actually looks pretty nice, I have to say. But Shut In was really, I watched it before we started the show. Really small movie, unfortunately mediocre. So Run, Hide, Fight is still, for me, Run, Hide, Fight is actually looking like a big action blockbuster against the movie Shut In. The problem is she's get locked in the pantry and her kids are outside. But the urgency to get out of this pantry is a little bit slow for my taste. So shut it, but
fuck
at
those
least,
kids. They can get down. They don't need me.
yeah, exactly. That was my feeling about her sometimes. But at least I found it, Rob, in the Netherlands. It was released on Blu-ray. The next one, I got one on Instagram who reminded me about this movie, and I think I haven't bought it when it came out.
What?
Cult classic, actually. Yeah, I finally bought the Gate, Rob. I didn't remember that I had owned a cult classic movie with Steven Dorff.
Yeah.
In probably his first role, The Gate. The Gate. The next one was, I think, price reduced, and I already used the reversible cover artwork. I bought, Rob, in 4K, The Slumber Party Massacre and The Slumber Party Massacre 2, which is not on 4K, it's just a Blu-ray. But this is a 3-disc set, so you got the 4K from Slumber Party Massacre, the Blu-ray, and then the Blu-ray of the second one, which was a little bit price reduced. And I think I will get perhaps in the live chat about it. Secular Monk was a little bit taken aback last week because we didn't show our Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. So here it is, Secular Monk. My Mission Impossible 4K Steelbook, and I love this motive more than the red one. It's a little bit more in line with the Fallout Halo jump. So I decided to go more with
nice.
this one.
I have not picked mine up yet.
Yeah. And I watched it yesterday, and I totally concur with you. For me, if I had to do a ranking, fortunately, the bottom for me. Yes, even below the great Mission Impossible 2.
Dude, Mission Impossible 2 is fucking dope.
Yeah, it rocks. It rocks. Speaking of TV series that I watch and I love, so I bought the Blu-ray version of it. I bought Poker Face.
Oh yeah, it's a great show.
Season 1. So really looking forward that it hopefully will get a second season. Totally had a blast with it. And it's actually, strangely enough, it's good that they put, I was a little bit fearful. I haven't delved into a review about it, but I was fearful that they would put just 2 discs and 5 episodes on 1 disc, but there are actually 3 discs for the episodes. So a little bit more breathing room for the eventual episodes for it. So the next one is actually an older German movie, and I bought it back in the day digitally, and I always forgot to buy it on physical media. Now I got it. It's just called Hell. So in Germany, it's Die Hölle, but in English, there is no pronouns in front of it. So just called Hell, Inferno. Great movie, Rob. Unfortunately,
the title. Just seeing the title. Put the title up there. I don't know why that cracks me up. When I look at it, it says instead of Die Hard, it just says Die Hole or Die Holy. What the fuck?
Exactly. It's the Hell, Die Hölle, or only Hell. Unfortunately, Rob, no English subtitles because this would be a movie that I would easily purchase for you to get to you, that you would have to, that you could see it. Unfortunately, no English subtitles on this one. Let me just see. Okay, this is a little bit more for the live chat. Another one, I think I showed it last week, and I did go for the Steelbook 2 because just with Blue Beetle, I always like to have the Blu-ray 2, not only the 4K, and this one comes not only with the 4K, with the Blu-ray 2. I got, of course, as a Shark fan, I got Meg 2.
That's a great cover, though.
The great Pippin. It was nice to see him back in the movie. We always loved that Pippin is surviving. So let me see. Yeah, 2 discs. So we get the Blu-ray as well with Meg 2. And at last, Rob, I have 2 media books left. A movie that I already owned. And Rob, I can't tell you how heavy this movie was censored back in the day when we watched the German version on VHS. It was probably like you had to edit Tango Shalom about 10 minutes. And when I saw the cover artwork of this German media book, I had to get it. Return of the Living Dead 3.
Dude, I love that movie.
Me too, Rob. Me too.
You know, I mean, that I can honestly say this. I can honestly say this. I have never in my life seen a movie where I wanted to fuck one of the undead.
Exactly, Rob. Exactly. Let's leave it at that.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. That movie made me want to fuck a zombie, and then that zombie showed up as the femme fatale mom on the OC. So, there you go.
There you go.
You get all kinds of admissions here on Let's Get Physical Media. But there you go.
Return of the Living Dead 3. And now we go back. I think it's not well received, but I got Return of the Living Dead Part 2 as well. Love the cover artwork. So it's a media book 2. It is from, let me just see, Rob, from Play On, which we all know was formerly Koch Media, who put out Rob's Tune set. And here we have just the Blu-ray is just for the extras. So Blu-ray for the movie and a completely Blu-ray for the extras. Return of the Living Dead 3. Let me just go back to Return of the Living Dead 3. If this is the same here. So we got the movie. Yes, it's the same here. We got a Blu-ray with the extras and Blu-ray with the movie. So I got one, but I will save that for the end of the show. And Rob, last week we forgot to talk about this, and I was pissed that I forgot about it. Considering, speaking of great comic book series, Rob, Gen V, how great was this?
Dude, that show rips. I loved it. Loved it.
And when at the end, the great cameo, I wasn't expecting it. Totally out of the blue. Great cliffhanger. And luckily, Amazon has given greenlit for a second season. And as seen, Rob, in December, we will get Jack Reacher, the second season in December. And speaking of streaming, Rob, with my highest recommendations this week when I was sickly here, I watched on Netflix, Rob. I don't know if you have heard about this animation series, Blue Eye Samurai. It says, from the writer of Logan and Blade Runner 2049, Rob, it comes with my highest recommendation, 9.5 out of 10 for me. Totally had a blast with this 8-episode show on Netflix. A smash hit for me again from Netflix, and I hope they will greenlit a second season. I don't know if King Tannic has spoken about it, because it's not particularly the typical anime stuff. It is animation, but not Japanese anime, Rob. So if you haven't seen it, Rob, my highest recommendation, watch Blue Eye Samurai.
I will.
I think you will love it. You think you will love it. Like you, I finished Loki, now that all episodes were there. For me, Rob, it was a little bit too much techno gobbledygook, for 4 seasons, for four episodes. And then in the last episode, I know how to time slip. Now I have figured it out. How? Don't know, as the Twiddle Dingle would say. And Loki fixed it at the end himself. So for me, unfortunately, mediocre. Then I don't know if you had time, Rob. I watched, of course, The Killer on Friday. Had a great time with it on Netflix with Michael Fassbender from David Fincher. So for me, this movie, I would totally buy if Netflix would release it. For me, The Killer was great with Michael Fassbender. Totally.
And Andy Kevin Walker, who wrote it, re-teaming from Seven. The guy who wrote that movie, Andy Kevin Walker, wrote Seven.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Rob?
Oh yeah. I loved it.
And it's always great, Rob, if there's a scene in the movie where I think, I haven't seen that, and I just say table, a flipped over table, and I don't think I have seen that, Rob, in a movie. I can't remember it. This was great. Unfortunately, this was not. I watched digitally Outlaw.
I know. Black. I watched that too. Yeah. I was bummed out.
Yeah. What a slow burn. Not funny. Not really action driven. So it didn't fulfill any stuff that you would say would be driving. And then 137 minutes.
No.
You better stick with Black Dynamite again. Then on Netflix, Rob, I watched Old Dads.
I watched Old Dads.
Yeah, and I had good time with it, considering Bill Burr and the new stuff that we go through. But I had to think.
Bill Burr directed the film too.
Yeah. And when you did your 900 show this morning, you had a great letter from a Japanese viewer about Japanese going woke. And then I thought about Old Dads again at the end. I think a little bit of freedom had Bill Burr at the end a little bit lost. A little bit.
Yeah.
At the end. So it was nice to hear that letter. And I thought, I had a good time with it, but perhaps a little bit of his freedom he has given up at the end. I don't know if you have gotten around to watch Sly Rock.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't. Just because I've been gone.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad, Rob. But I think in 90 minutes it's a little bit too less time to cover the career of Sylvester Stallone. If you get Arnold, 3 episodes of 1 hour, so 1.5 hours, a little bit short. Then the next one, which I totally enjoyed, is I saw The Royal Hotel. I don't know if you have heard about the movie with Julia Garner and Jessica Henwick, where they are traveling in Australia.
And they become bartenders at the hotel.
Yeah, they become bartenders because they are out of money, and it's always the bar people a little bit rude, let's say it that way, and there's always an undertone of tension, perhaps there will be happening something. And for me, this movie had verisimilitude, Rob, especially considering Hugo Weaving playing the owner of the bar. And what I meant with verisimilitude, Rob, is actually he falls down as he is drunk, and just how he falls for me has verisimilitude, Rob. I couldn't believe how that I should say.
Well, that's good.
At one point, he comes at the cash register and stumbles. I thought Hugo Weaving was excellent in this movie, and you barely recognize him.
I love Hugo Weaving
in this movie. And there were two or three times where he stumbles, where I thought, how can somebody play a drunk this perfectly? So great movie, but it goes a little bit different than I was expecting, considering what is happening or not happening. But still a recommendation for me, The Royal Hotel. But like I said, Rob, the biggest recommendation, especially for King Tannic, if you haven't seen it, Blue Eye Samurai, Rob.
Blue Eye Samurai. And by the way, Jessica Henwick is my celebrity crush now. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it did play in the Outback, so I had no feeling of that filmed it somewhere differently, and it's in the middle of nowhere, that bar, So really, really nice movie. So this was the stuff that I have seen, Rob.
Okay, I got to say, I didn't get much this week because I was gone. I didn't want to have things shipped that were left on my doorstep that I didn't pick up in time. But I did get a few things. Again, Kino Lorber sponsoring the show. Now, I got to tell you something. Kino Lorber not only have they, putting out an incredible array of foreign films, silent films, they put out a movie this week. I didn't know they were even putting this out. This is a movie that I've wanted to see literally not my entire life, but I love movies about Hollywood, but I've never seen this movie. I've heard about this movie because it's from the early 60s. It's a movie called The Carpetbaggers. Now, what's really interesting about this movie is George Peppard, from what I know, I haven't watched it yet. George Peppard, like this is a pretty racy film for 1964, same year as what is that? Goldfinger, 62, Thunderball, Goldfinger Thunderball era, and George Peppard plays a Howard Hughes like mogul or something in early 30s Hollywood. And what's really Alan Ladd, this was his last performance. Carol Baker's in this movie. But what's really interesting, so I've never seen this movie before. Kino Lorber a couple weeks ago or last month, recently, this movie has a prequel. And the prequel is called Nevada Smith. And it stars Steve McQueen as Nevada Smith. Well, I was going to watch that, but I realized I don't have the Carpetbaggers. So now I can watch them both. But again, a new restoration. This is a widescreen movie, and like sometimes Kino Lorber does.
Ooh,
yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is got some sultry artwork. So go Kino Lorber for putting out the Carpetbaggers. I mean, here's something. You know how I say pop culture has a half-life of 20 years? No one fucking knows this movie. No one alive today.
I don't know the movie.
Nobody does. I only know this movie because I read about it like 40 years ago. And I'm like, this is a movie. I don't know why I never caught up with it. But then it shows up. It just shows up in a box. Awesome. This is why Kino Lorber is kind of magical. Like Kino Lorber, all the other companies, like we know what Severin's putting out. Black Emanuelle, when it comes, it's like, yeah. We know that what Second Sight's putting out. Hey, you can get Ginger Snaps and Chopper from them. Yeah. Mean Streets is coming. You know. But Kino Lorber, to me, is like Christmas every week. Boxes show up. Sometimes they're really light. The boxes are light. This one was a pretty heavy box, but this is in there. When it comes out, it's like, wow, okay, Kino Lorber. Now, okay,
and they have a nice range, Rob. Face Off, older stuff, Point Break.
Incredible. Kino Lorber is putting out, you can have a whole film library just through Kino Lorber's output. Yep. And by the way, I think they're having another sale right now. So I got this. And if this was all that was in the box, for me personally, I'd be like, oh my God. So I would get my Nevada Smith disc, which has been alphabetized on the shelf, and I can get the Carpetbaggers, and I could have a double feature.
Nice.
Then, again, this is why I love Kino Lorber. Then they sent me this. Babes in Toyland. Okay? This stars Drew Barrymore, Keanu Reeves, and Richard Mulligan, and Pat Morita.
Ooh.
Pat Morita and
Mr. Miyagi.
and Mr. Miyagi and Eileen Brennan. By the way, Warner Brothers 100th anniversary. Where the fuck is Private Benjamin in HD or 4K? Talk about Eileen Brennan. Do these come in anything other than green? Come on, man. Where's one of my favorite comedies when I was a kid? I love Private Benjamin. Arma DeSante as a cad. Come on. Goldie Hawn at her peak. But I don't even know what Babes in Toyland is. But what's really interesting about this is it was clearly a TV movie that might have been released overseas. But here's what's cool about Kino Lorber. It's from 1986. So that would be around when Keanu Reeves made River's Edge. Maybe he made this before then.
Yeah.
This has two versions on it. Just like the Bermuda Depths from Warner Archive. You've got the 133, the TV, the square TV version, or the 178 to 1, the the bigger.
Nice.
So there you go. I don't know if I'd ever watch this, but hey, it's a holiday movie. Maybe I'll watch it for Christmas just to see. So thank you, Kino Lorber. And the other two things that came in the Kino Lorber box.
Yeah.
The first season of Monk.
Oh, nice, Rob. Nice.
On Blu-ray. I mean, the first season of Monk, 400.
Have that on pre-order, Rob. Have that on pre-order.
Yeah, this is a great show. A very good friend of mine, Mary Forrest, she used to watch this show incessantly and turned me on to this. So Monk is great, and to have this, I mean, why not?
And you know who has one of their first roles in Monk in one of their episodes?
I do not know. Who are you going to say? Oh, J-Law.
Yeah,
That's why you want it. You have to have your complete. You're a J-Law
not
completist.
in season 1. I think it's season 3. Rob.
You're the J-Law completist. So that.
Yeah.
And then the final thing that came in from.
So Kino Lorber, I need season 3 at least.
Well, there you go. The final thing that came from this, and I don't know what this is, but it's Homicide Hills, the complete series. Now, I would assume I haven't even read this.
That looks like a German syndrome. Is that the German policeman?
Yeah, I don't. Homicide Hills. I don't know where this is from. This looks like, dude. It stars. There's the sergeant's name is Sergeant Detmer Schaefer.
Okay.
And
Barbell
Schmidt. This must be German.
This is a German policeman, yeah, Rob. But the question for me is, I have to find out what the German title is of that show, actually.
Well, here it is. Step into this charming, offbeat world of Homicide Hills, the beloved German TV series that effortlessly blends humor, mystery, and small-town intrigue. Carolyn Peters, Tartart, stars as Cologne homicide detective Sophie Haas, whose dreams of a thriving urban career are hilariously derailed when she's exiled to the countryside to run a tiny police station in the sleepy village of Hengisch, Hanging Ass.
Okay.
But what Hengisch lacks in action, it more than makes up for in bizarre murders that Sophie, armed with her unconventional investigative methods, is surprisingly adept at solving. So there you go, buddy.
Is this from Kino Lorber?
Yeah.
This is so
it's 3 seasons.
to release a German.
Dude, Kino Lorber releases everything. You know, I don't even know. I don't get it. They just release everything. I don't know.
So it's only got a German track on it. I would. So German, English subtitles.
It's international mystery in German with English subtitles.
Yep. English subtitles. There you go.
There you go. Hey, I got a Schnäppchen.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I just was driving by Best Buy, stopped in to see what I. So
now, the last Schnäppchen on Best Buy.
It's a Schnäppchen. This was $18, dude.
Okay.
Now look, it's literary sci-fi that, to be honest, I saw it once in the theater. I was kind of disappointed by it, but I had to buy it because I love the original book. The 4K of Ender's Game.
Oh, nice.
And
I love the movie.
Not only is it a 4K, but it's a steelbook.
Ooh, that's cool.
Right?
That's cool. Yeah.
18 bones, dude. $18. Nice. That was a Schnäppchen. So if you like the movie, there you go. Ender's Game. I got the 4K steelbook Schnäppchen. And then sitting right next to it. So one of the things that I'm not showing today, because I haven't got it yet, is the Picard box set.
Yeah.
That has all the Next Generation episodes. I didn't really need to get this, but I got it. I got the Picard Season 3 steelbook.
Cool. Very cool.
Why not? I had to get it. 3 discs.
And I just see, Rob, in live chat.
It was a little dented, but I don't care.
Yeah. I just see from Tina Gassmann, she writes, Mord mit Aussicht. So Kill with a View seems to be perhaps the German title of that show. Mord mit Aussicht.
And
so thank you, Tina.
The last thing I got, an import from England, maybe the release of the week. Elliot Cohen would be proud of me. If you watch Elliot Cohen, you should. I love watching Elliot Cohen's physical media show because I just like his soothing voice. I really want to get Elliot Cohen smashed. I want to go when I come visit England. I gotta come pick up you first. We gotta go to England and find Elliot Cohen and get him wickedly drunk. I love his shows. I watch him all the time. He's very soothing. Elliot jumped on board this one early. This is again another great. You should like this. G.W. Pabst, Louise Brooks, Hometown Girl. This is this is from 1929. Pre-code.
So it comes with swag.
This movie was
looks like a big
scandalous.
box.
You know what? I haven't even opened it. Let's do an unboxing. I just
Exactly.
got it. I love again, Eureka, another great company. Take that down. And I hope I don't want to rip the back of the box because they always put on their little stickers here. And
Go easy.
Go easy, bros.
There you have.
Okay, there you go. So, first of all, how gorgeous is this?
Nice.
I mean, but so in it, of course, you get the movie. Wow, this is a great, a really nice booklet. So it comes with this very beautiful book, and this book is pretty extensive. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Roaring 20s, indeed. This is a very famous movie that has had a lot of problems in the past because it was so censored. Look at that. Look at this cover. Yeah.
Nice.
There's tons. So
is it reversible, Rob?
Oh,
Would
that's
it be
a good
even
question.
reversible?
No, there's just a still. It's not a reversible cover.
Okay.
But I mean, this cover, this outer box is so banger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so great that you got to love it. But again, part of their Masters of Cinema, issue 280. But this movie is chock-a-block full of special. I mean, the disc is chock-a-block full of special features. And why can't I slide this into the box? But it's got. Let me read the back because it's got some really interesting stuff on it. Limited edition hard case featuring artwork by Tony Stella. 1080p HD presentation on Blu-ray from a definitive 2K digital restoration by Deutsche Cinematheque, I guess. Optional English subtitles, orchestral score by Pierre Rabin, new audio commentary by critic Pamela Hutchinson, the new women and the jazz age, the dangerous feminine in Pandora's box, a new visual appreciation by author and critic Carl Ellinger, Godless Beasts, a new video essay by David Cairns, Lulu in Wonderland, a new video essay by Fiona Watson, Restoring Pandora's Box, a new interview with Martin Korber, plus a limited edition 60-page book, This is the House That Jack Built, a new essay by critic Alexandra Heller, Nicholas and Vital Spirit Louise Brooks, and Lulu, a new essay by Imogen Sarah Smith. So, hey, girl power. So this is a great release, and, Elliot Cohen was waxing rhapsodic over it.
Yeah.
So, whenever Elliot is clearly younger than me, but I feel that he has great taste in classic cinema, and I feel if I don't buy things that Elliot buys, I'm slacking.
You're left out.
Usually, I usually keep up with Elliot Cohen, but sometimes he gets there before I do, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. Rob, what about the super chats?
We got lots of super chats.
Yeah.
So if you want to fire in super chats or tips, now's the time. Let's get to them. Let's see what I've got. First of all, actually, there's a lot, to be honest.
Okay.
We got to catch up here. I love this. 5 dot toast. I want to know what that means. Where does that come from? 5 dot toast. I need to know. 5 dot toast sends in a $20 super chat and says, I enjoyed the Marvels, albeit not as much as I wanted to. The fight scenes were vastly superior to the first entry. I felt that Monica Rambeau was the main character and the only one with an arc. It needed more conflict. Well, I couldn't agree more, 5 dot toast. Listen, to me, the female, if somebody asks me about the female Captain Marvel, I only think of Monica Rambeau. Because in the 70s with her fro and her black and white outfit, she was or 80s, pardon me. She was my Captain Marvel. I loved Monica Rambeau. She's had a lot of different guises and been different versions, but I've always loved Monica Rambeau. And to me, it was weird that they went with the Carol Danvers version of Captain Marvel and not the Monica version, but I'm glad to see her there. But it's weird to me that they didn't like jump on the Monica Rambeau bandwagon. But yeah, I would 5 dot toast, I agree with you totally. 5 dot toast goes on to say the Marvels is also a Green Lantern film in Marvel cosplay. I find it fascinating that Marvel wasn't more wary of wading into that territory. Well, I think that, look, in Civil War II in the comics, Carol Danvers was a big part of that. So I think they wanted to find a heavy-hitting female character to join the MCU, and they went with that Carol Danvers. I don't know if that was such a smart idea, but I agree with you. I mean, make the Monica Rambeau movie. Stubble McShave sends in a tip and says, Mel Blanc is the most unknown famous person. The number of legendary animated characters that he voiced is astonishing. I'd like to see a biopic about him. Everyone should know his name and how big he was in the entertainment history. Do you know who doesn't know who Mel Blanc's name is? David fucking Zaslav. Doesn't know. And I'm sorry, because anybody that did know, anybody that knows anything at all about, by the way, this is a good time to mention that Warner Archive has been putting out a collection of fan favorite Looney Tunes on disc, and they look beautiful. You should pick them up, because when Warner Archive puts out animation like Cats Don't Dance, if they put animation out on disc, the animation looks terrific. Unlike, say, when they did the Fleischer's Superman, which should have been a Warner Archive title that they put out via regular Warner Brothers. And those people ruined that release. They should be ashamed of themselves and just go back to the drawing board. Or better yet, let Warner Archive take their crack at it, because it would be awesome. Tracy, A World in Pajamas, send in a big super chat. $25 super chat. Nice. Thanks. Thank you. She says, I've not watched the Marvels. First, lots of movies had good storytellers. A lot of the first movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe had Kenneth Branagh, Favreau, Joss Whedon, as much as I don't like him. He was his lieutenant and set the Marvel Foundation. I just think Feige needs a new lieutenant. Well, you know what's really interesting? I mean, look, a lot of people have said, like Nia Costa, who directed Marvels, this was only your third film. And, she had a film I haven't seen. Then she did the Candyman reboot. And I think that I understand what they're trying to do. If they're making a girl power story, they want to find directors that match the material. But, clearly, and she went off during post-production. She left during post-production to go work on another movie. That's a little weird. But whatever. I mean, I just think they need to start bringing back the people that really understand how to make these movies. B. Depp says, hey, Robin Dietz. Oh, this is a good one. Did you see that Hardware Wars was announced for Blu-ray? By the way, still waiting on an announcement of Under the Rainbow from Warner Archive. So what B. Depp is referring to, and I had this in today's news, but why not talk about it right now? MVD is releasing Hardware Wars. So what people they're probably asking, what is Hardware Wars about? Hardware Wars was one of the very first fan films. It was made by a guy named Ernie Fosselius, I want to say in 1978. Now, MVD, here's how cool MVD is. We don't talk about MVD enough, but you see the middle there? You see the middle with the that was the original that is the original Warner Brothers released Hardware Wars on VHS. Now, why was this important? Because they didn't just release Hardware Wars. The tape was Hardware Wars, but it has 3 other movies on it, which I believe they're including. Ernie Fosselius, who made Hardware Wars, also made Porklips Now, which is a Apocalypse Now parody, which I thought was hilarious, about a guy barbecuing. And then there is Closet Encounters of the Nerd Kind, which was not as successful, but a Close Encounters parody, and Bambi Meets Godzilla. And that was on the original, and they were great. They were great movies, and so they're releasing them. I think this is a must-own. Hardware Wars is still, in my mind, one of the great fan films of all time. It's hilarious, you have Ham Salad, Augie Bendoggy. It's good stuff.
And this will come out on Blu-ray now from MVD.
Yes. Yeah, from MVD.
Nice.
So that's pretty dope. Pretty excited about that. So B. Depp, I'm sure you're excited about it too. Very, very exciting. So I'm down with that. And then B. Depp goes, That was it. And then Drew Skizzy says, Rob, watch Attack on Titan. Well, I've seen some of Attack on Titan. I haven't seen all of the anime, so I got to go back and watch that.
Because it's finished now. It's run.
Yeah, it's done. And if you watch the Otaku Experience, you can hear about it. Justin Toner, who I forgot to thank for being a moderator and stuff on last night's show. Justin, thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for being you. Justin said, hey guys, glad Dieter's feeling better today. I put in my pre-order for the Monster Squad 4K from Kino Lorber on their website.
Nice.
Very excited. Includes the Wolfman's Got Nards documentary about the movie and its cult following. Magic Crystal is my next buy. Well,
buy it Magic Crystal.
Buy it from Vinegar Syndrome. Go get it from them. Stubble McShave says, on a positive note, a positive side effect of your lack of interest in the MCU is that you save a lot of money on not purchasing as many Hot Toys. Or maybe you just buy many but have shifted your purchases to other figures. No, here's the thing. If they put out a Monica Rambeau Hot Toy, but the people over in China are racist, so we might not get one. We don't even have Dora Milaje figures. I will buy a Monica Rambeau Hot Toy, especially if it has rooted hair. Simply because I want that. And in my mind, I already have a Captain Marvel. I actually have 2 Captain Marvel figures. But if in my mind, Monica Rambeau would take her rightful place with the Avengers as Captain Marvel, at least on my shelf. So there you go. But you're right. My enthusiasm for Hot Toys figures has kind of waned as well, to be honest, which is fine because, you know, how many more figures do I need to buy? You know, I can't keep up with the Joneses.
I feel a little bit sorry or pity for Hot Toys that they have the license for the figures, and now the movies are that kind of quality. You know, always goes with the selling of. Figures.
By the way, I just want to show you what I did add to my super group. Yeah. I've been changing stuff around here. It's
the group.
You saw the right. Eric Draven.
On Instagram.
Eric Draven is shredding. So my band is called the Dead Crows. This band is now called the Dead Crows. Everyone's complaining that Jimi Hendrix was left-handed. Look, man, I can't help the way they made the guitar. What can I say? I'll fix it. I'll make him play left-handed. How about that? People complain, but I love that people are eagle-eyed and watching. So that's good. Tracy, A World in Pajamas says, we would like to hear Deet's drunken stories. I bet he has a lot of adventures. We know what Rob has been up to. Rob has told us about his wild times. You know what? I just can only imagine that when Deets tells us about all the amazing shenanigans he got up to at all those metalhead shows he went back he saw in the 80s.
Was I really, really drunk to enjoy a metal show?
I don't know.
Think so.
Well, we have to get you drunk to tell us your stories. I think you've been straight-laced your whole life.
It wouldn't need much, Rob. It wouldn't need much.
All right, well, 200 Watt Studio says Imogen Sarah Smith should be on camera more. 200 Watt Studio has been watching. I don't know what he's been watching. Certainly not Cinemax. He's been watching. 200 Watt Studio is on a bit of a. He's been watching some interesting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, she's I don't know if you're talking about the Imogen Sarah Smith. That's the author of Archiving and Preservation. But yeah, she's interesting actually. Chloe says Agent Cody Banks may not have been a successful franchise, but Frankie Muniz may get to race in some NASCAR Infinity races next year, living out his dream. Yeah, Frankie Muniz kind of left acting and became a race car driver, which is very cool. I really liked him as Cody Banks, though.
Yeah,
I thought he was good.
Love Cody. Rob, have you signed by Agent Cody Banks? Fuck off, you douchey douche.
Yes.
Have you signed?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's right over there. I know exactly where it is. I got to send you, but now I don't have to send you the Abyss anymore because it's coming out. 200 Watt Studio says Princess Android. Now you can't understand what you're saying. That's from Hardware Wars. Like,
Okay.
oh yeah, argument doggy. I can't understand what you're saying. It's Hardware Wars is great. You got to see it, and it's got Paul Frees doing the
Have
narration. You'll laugh,
have
you'll
to.
cry, you'll kiss $3 goodbye. Hardware Wars. I must have watched that 1,000 times. Irene Jobson is back. She says,
Irene.
"Shh, I'm hunting wabbits." See, she knows what Looney Tunes are. She knows who Elmer Fudd is.
Yeah.
David Zaslav is Elmer Fudd, and he doesn't even know who Elmer Fudd is. Doesn't know.
Could be.
Doesn't
Could be.
know.
Yeah.
Stubble McShave says that RoboCop cost $13 million or $35 million today with inflation. The studios need to get a hand on the budgets today. Well, I don't. It's funny. I don't think the studios would even make a $35 million movie. But yeah, you couldn't nowadays. A movie like RoboCop they'd make it for $100 million, which is ridiculous. Like, why would you do that? I don't know. So we're caught up with super chats, everyone.
Nice.
You obviously can still fire those in if you would like to. Ask Dietz personal questions that you're afraid to hear the answers to.
So, Rob, even if I urged you to keep the show in 2 hours, I will not forget the live chat, Rob. I will not skip the live chat.
By the way, hang on. You know what? I did forget a few things. A World in Pajamas did gift a Burnettwork membership.
Nice.
And I wanted to say that. There you go. Are we doing the live chat? I guess we are.
I hope so, Rob. I hope so.
Would you like to?
Yeah. I will not skip that, Rob.
Okay. Well, I'll turn it over to you.
Previously on Let's Get Physical Media. Tommy Wignell, anyone getting their hands on the impossible to find Oppenheimer Steelbook? Actually, Tommy, I have it on pre-order, so I don't know what actually the problem is. You should be getting it. Or just look at least internationally. If you want a Steelbook, always look Amazon internationally, UK, Italy, Spain. There's always some country that would probably have some left. Luke the Blade. Dieter, is that your team that beat Bayern Munich? Yes, it was. Luke the Blade. Yes, it was the team from my home county. Altmetall. Guess the greasy field came in handy. No, Altmetall, don't get me those cheap excuses, the loser excuses. Don't do that, Altmetall. Don't do that. Tim Hens. Saarbrücken beat the mighty Bayern Munich in the German Cup, what you would call giant killing. Nice, Tim. Adventure Square. Five Nights looks in the vein of that Banana Split movie, quick cash grab. Actually, Adventure Square, that Banana Split movie, I have that, and that was enjoyable, unlike Five Nights at Freddy's. RJ Skorengi. Hey, Dieter, I feel your pain. This movie, Five Nights at Freddy, is awful. Altmetall. I realized that Tango Shalom is here in my local cinema. Altmetall is from Germany, from my neighbor state. Unfortunately, Altmetall here in Saarbrücken, it doesn't play.
Did he go
Tango
see
Shalom. He doesn't told me in the live chat, Rob. He just said he realized Tango Shalom was playing here. Tom Jr. Jackson, Five Nights at Freddy was not a bad movie. The only problem was that it was aimed at a specific audience that knew more about the game. I know nothing about the game, but I think there was a lot of stuff. I have no knowledge about the game, but I don't think that this has anything to do with the game. BDEP, I absolutely love. Lower Decks. The other new track is blah. Irene Jobson, Five Nights at Freddy is meant to be a children's film. Irene, if I was a children, I would be bored from Five Nights at Freddy as a child. Condo 007. Dieter, have you seen the Echo TV trailer? No, Condo, while I stay away from trailers. I don't want to see anything, but I heard good things about the Echo series, about the trailer, and finally Disney gives us all episodes at once, which I do, as a binger, I do prefer. Irene Jobson, I'm going to send it to Dieter out of spite. Irene, I will hold you to that. So I will get Five Nights at Freddy from you. Eucalyptus, Five Nights at Freddy is cinema. Martin Scorsese. If Marty says that, he's probably lost his mind. If Five Nights at Freddy is cinema. Don Ranger Powers. I myself thought the Flash movie was somewhere between okay and average for me, to be honest. So there is a slight difference between okay and average where we could fit that in. Altmetall. Good music can elevate an average movie into something special. Totally can. Jalapeno J. Dieter, congratulations on Saarbrücken beating Bayern in the DFB-Pokal. Thank you, Jalapeno. Irene Jobson, I really liked Highlander. I like Henry Cavill, so perhaps it will be good. We talked about a little bit of the Highlander remake. Hey, it's me in HD. Great name. Hey, it's me in HD. Do you guys think Napoleon will be good? Personally, I would have preferred a limited series. Considering the track record of Ridley Scott, it can go both ways. Rob, what do you think? Napoleon, will it be good?
I saw.
Or do we wait? Or do we already wait for the longer version?
No, I think it's.
We
gonna
don't
be good.
want to have another Kingdom of Heaven on our hands.
I mean, as Darth Plato would tell you, the battle of the battle that they have that I saw in the movie is kind of been fictionalized, but that
okay,
I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah. Brian Knight, Robert and Dieter, will we see a new version of Welcome to Deutschland, where you sponsor Dieter's local football club? I think Brian Knight is referring to the series.
Welcome to Wrexham.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Well, I'll tell you, if we get enough super chats, we could buy the local team, and I'm happy to do it.
Probably yes, but the team is a little bit on the lower side, Brian Knight. So I don't think it's very valuable. Bill Barkley. So they've done Need for Speed and Gran Turismo as movies. So what's the next racing video game to be turned into a movie? Perhaps Forza Horizon, where you can drive all through the world, would be perhaps a nice try. Adventure Square. Well, it's a Frank Grillo movie. Might be good. And he speaks, of course, I showed it last week, King of Killers. And Frank has actually a big role. He is the bad guy in it. Fortunately, the movie, mediocre again. The action is not bad, but there are a lot of other movies already out there considering the Killer Club. As the Tournament is a great movie about killers. And we have, of course, The Accident Man with my friend Scott Adkins 1 and 2, which for me were a little bit more fun than The King of Killers. The action is not bad, but unfortunately mediocre. But like I said, Adventure Square, it's a Frank Grillo movie. It could be good. The man said, watched The Dive a few weeks ago at my local cinema. Rather good. And The Dive is the remake from the Norwegian movie Breaking Surface. So, but I haven't watched it, Tim, but it's nice that Tim says already The Dive is a good remake. Adventure Square, Rob forgetting Dieter's Memento on point with the movie, because Rob wanted to dive in, but I know. Showed.
I forgot, Dieter.
And then Vance, Rob is suffering from Memento syndrome. He showed it this a few weeks ago. Rob, have you watched it already?
I did. It's great.
Is the transfer okay?
It is. I think it looks great.
Nice.
But the whole point was you're supposed to forget Memento.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Bill Barkley. Wait, Dieter didn't see Slide, the Netflix documentary. We talked a little bit about it. I saw it. Not bad, but for me, a little bit too short, considering the big career span of Stallone in general. A World in Pyjamas, Science Lady. Rob Burnett, if there is an apocalypse tomorrow, internet goes to pot as long as you have solar power generator and a DVD still working. I guess you and Dieter will still be able to watch movies. I hope Rob has everything ready, considering generator and solar power, if that should happen. Tovitz, I just picked up Free Enterprise on DVD for 20 pence from a charity shop. Had to buy it because it's Rob's movie. Not watched it yet. Well,
I wonder which version you got. You got to get the Anchor
no
Bay
idea.
version, but that's okay.
You're in for a treat, Tovitz. You're in.
Dieter is not a fan of Free Enterprise. It's okay. It's okay. You learn to live with these things.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. Exactly. Fuck off, you douchey douche.
Fuck off, you douchey douche.
Please. Yeah. Please ask Rob if he's seen Doctor Who, from Bill Barclay. Please ask Rob if he's seen Doctor Who, Tales of the TARDIS. It's basically various classic Who episodes with new scenes, which bookend those.
I have not.
Bookend those. YouTube also has those. Has also those scenes. You have not, Rob. Okay. John Kibola. Let's see Deed stuff we don't have access to. John Kibola, perhaps you mean more. Let's see Deed stuff that nobody needs to have. That's probably the correct term. And John Kibola says, keep them both. And you know what, John? I think I do. I think I will do that. Mike TV, TWNG. I'm guessing that the German Barbie would have translations of the banners and localization of signs in the movie. I don't think so. I haven't checked it. But rather, if they do that now, they would do it with subtitling. And like you said, Rob, Dave SG asked us a memento question. Can you comment on the transfer? What little I've read is critical about the plaque levels. The extras alone warrant a purchase, but I hadn't budgeted for it. But you said, Rob, the transfer is fine.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look at it again, but, I threw it on and I thought the movie looked the way I remembered.
It's probably was shot digitally 2K, I would think. Okay. Secular Monk really surprised Mission Impossible that Reckoning wasn't in their halls. It was this week. Let me just see. Tina Gassman, I just want to say thank you for all you two do. This is an awesome channel. Nice to see. Megan Musing, wishing you all a fantastic week, which was last week, but counts for the next week too. And Demands, Ninja vs. Shark would be the end, all for trash movies. So probably, Tim, I should buy it. Okay, Rob, that was the live chat.
All right. Well, the live chat then is that's over, and that's okay. I mean, 200-Watt Studios says that Imogene, the character Imogene Sarah Smith, who's an author and film historian, is knowledgeable and easy on the eyes, and she knows her film history. I've watched her on the Criterion Channel, I think, but I haven't read her books. Irene Jobson says she watched Five Nights at Freddy's with her kids, and they loved it.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? 200-Watt Studio says, love your streams almost as good as Korean baseball cheerleader videos.
Nice comparison, okay?
Which is hilarious. 5.Toast says, Dieter, have you seen Cooties?
Yeah.
With Elijah Wood from almost 10 years ago. If you haven't, it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I have seen it, but memory has a little bit faded, and I'm pretty sure I own it on Blu-ray. Pretty sure.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for it.
Cooties. Yeah.
All right. As long as you say so. I have not seen Cooties. Tracy Will in Pajamas says, how was the audio drama? Well, we're still working on it. It's been recorded. We have the score, and now we're building the sound design, which hopefully we'll finish it by this week, at least the proof of concept. So the plan is we're going to launch a Kickstarter to raise money for everything and to get the word out there as well, to promote it. But we've got the 15-minute, actually about 12 to 15 minutes. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, the proof of concept, so you can hear what Stashwick sounds like in the title role. And then the way it's going to work is during the reason also we're running a Kickstarter campaign is Max Allan Collins has to write the actual script. He has to adapt 2 of his books into an audio drama, which he ain't doing that for free. That's all I can tell you. And as the producer of the project and the director of the project, you know, ass, gas, or grass, nobody writes for free. There was an old bumper sticker that used to say, ass, gas, or grass, nobody rides for free. So I just adapted it. Ass, gas, or grass, nobody writes for free. So there you go. Most people are like, wait, what? I used to see that when I was a kid, and I thought it was the most hilarious.
When the Kickstarter campaign will be starting? Have you?
Well, yeah, we're going to launch it in a couple weeks. I mean, we're designing it now, coming up with plans. We're going to have we got great video support. We're going to have a great Kickstarter video, and then we'll launch it. And we're going to let it run for like 2 months so we can promote it and add stuff to it. And it's going to be really cool. Like, I want to make one of the stretch goals. I want to ultimately. I've been listening to my Super Deluxe Edition. You know, I keep forgetting to show that. I got the Super Deluxe Edition of Duran Duran's Halloween album, Dance Macabre.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. But the disc comes with the album. You have 5.1 mixes and you have the Dolby Atmos mixes.
Great.
And they're incredible. And I would love to mix the audio drama in both 5.1 and Dolby Atmos, but Dolby Atmos would cost more, and it'll be so we can make that a stretch goal to mix it in Atmos or something. But there's things like that. The reason we have to launch a Kickstarter campaign is, we could do the audio drama, but I want to be able to do a lot more stuff. And the only way you can do a lot more stuff, like we can't go produce an 8-album set of Nathan Heler podcast and all the design work that goes into the records and all that stuff. We can't do that unless we have the money. And so it's like, that's why you do a Kickstarter campaign to pre-purchase that stuff, because it'll all be in production anyway. It's all going to get made at the same time. And it's really been fun. Like, I was looking, there's places that press vinyl all around the world. So I've been going and calling up places and getting their quotes and finding out how we're going to do it and what color because all the vinyl's got to be colored vinyl. It's going to be so cool.
Of course.
I mean, and it'll just be, how cool would it be to have a big vinyl special edition, like 8-disc fold out? Actually, it'd have to be 9 discs because we'll put the score on
separately. Okay.
Yeah, which we could do. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can. I don't even know if I can do this, but let me see if I can do this. And I honestly don't know. I don't know if I can, to be honest. I don't know if I can do this, but I can. I'll give you guys a taste if I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so
little bit of an appetizer.
Yeah, here's a little bit. Now I don't know if I can play this. Let's see if I can. You'll be able to hear the opening music. Now it's gonna be oops. Look, imagine right now, it's just like the real thing, where it's black. There's no visual. So, we'll see. I mean, who knows? The music will kick in because there's sound effects right now. But this is the opening strains of, for the first time, world premiere right here on the show. You're going to hear Alexander Bornstein's music, if it'll play, over us. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Because this audio, I did not make it compatible with the show itself. So maybe it won't play. I don't know. But what can you do? I guess it won't play. So you can't hear it.
What was it?
It was worth a try. There you go. So, but yeah, anyway. I can't play because it's not compatible with this software. I'd have to make it. But it's very, very cool. It turned out really, really well. So I'm very happy. And the music, Alexander Bornstein's score is truly, truly incredible. But I guess you can't hear it. I'll play it later. I'll make a clip and play it on Robservations.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on doing that. But how about that, Max Allan Collins? Look at that physical media collection. Look at that.
Bidip said, I hear it. It's
Oh,
playing.
Oh, was it playing?
Yeah, people in the live chat said it played. We
Oh,
can hear it.
oh,
But we couldn't hear it,
we
Rob.
couldn't
I
hear
couldn't
it.
hear
Well, there you go. I turned it off too soon. Uh-oh.
It was playing for your listeners. Justin Toner, we could hear it.
I hope you liked
in the
it.
live chat.
I didn't realize it was playing. Oops. We couldn't hear it. Well,
there you go.
I mean,
so the people heard it, Rob.
That's good. I would have let it play longer.
It was.
So, yeah. I want to watch Korean baseball cheerleader videos now. World in Pajamas says keep it up. So we will keep it up, Tracy. The Vixter said the Vixter saw the new Michael Caine movie, The Great Escaper, with Michael Caine, about the old man that flees. That's his last movie. He retired. Like flees his old folks home and goes on an adventure.
Yeah.
I really want to see that movie. It looks very good to me. So I can't wait to see that. I would love to see that. But anyway, how about some news, and then I can let you sick boy go.
Yeah.
Not a lot of
we finished.
Not a lot of great news this week, but there's always something coming out. We have this Radiance, one of my new favorite labels.
Ooh, nice.
Is Black Tight Killers. By the way, I have a box of Radiance stuff coming from Danger Danger DVD or Diabolic DVD.
Oh, Diabolic. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're putting out this is their upcoming stuff. They're putting out By a Man's Face You Shall Know Him. I love these, like a lot of these Asian movies I don't even know. And then this Italian movie they're putting out. Look at this cover. Alosafen? I don't even know. Directed by this takes place during the Revolutionary War or during the Renaissance or something. I have no idea. But it's by the Taviani brothers. I'll watch this. Everything Radiance, Obi. By the way, you know what's funny? I was looking at my old talk about Obi. Remember this? Remember this old my old chestnut?
Yeah.
Remember this?
Laserdisc.
Oh yeah, with an Obi.
Ooh,
look at that.
Obi.
By the way, this is still the gold standard when it comes to color timing for Star Wars. Just saying. I have this too. I don't know why I pulled these out. But hey.
Ooh, Hardboiled. I got the same. I got the Hardboiled 2, Rob.
I know. Criterion, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I was moving that stuff around. But anyway, there you go. So the creator announced for 4K. There you go. I didn't love this movie. I wanted to like it a lot more. But I didn't.
Yeah. But for me, definitely purchase. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to buy it. Sure. No doubt in my mind. Gotta have it. Cemetery Man, Della Morte Della More. It's coming out from Severin. I like this movie. Rupert Everett playing the same character that Brandon Routh later played. Dylan Dog. So that's kind of cool. Tinto Brass, little sex, little action. All ladies do it. Tinto Brass, if you don't know him, he made lots of erotic movies back in the 60s and 70s. And this is coming out in 4K, which, you asked me, am I going to buy this movie? Yes, I am. I'm going to buy some Tinto Brass action. You can never go wrong. Now, here's a new company. A new company, and they're putting out, let me actually, The Case of the Bloody Iris. Now, this is a new boutique label that I would like to read about thanks to the folks over at, of course, Blu-ray.com. Let me read about this new company that's putting this out. It's called Celluloid Dreams. It's a new company. Celluloid Dreams has officially announced the formation of its new home video label dedicated to bringing underserved movies to home video in North America. With an unwavering commitment to physical media such as 4K Blu-ray and Blu-ray, Celluloid Dreams' mission is to deliver the highest quality versions of their favorite genre cinema classics, many of which are unavailable on streaming platforms or even past home video formats. Apparently, the guy who wrote that article in Hollywood Reporter did not read this article. The label plans to enter the market with a 4K Blu-ray release of Giuliano Carmenio's cult film, The Case of the Bloody Iris. Over the past few months, the team at Cellular Dreams has been curating and handpicking movies from around the world to allow viewers to experience these films anew in the best possible quality. Titles selected by Celluloid Dreams will receive brand new ultra-high-definition transfers and digital restorations to ensure they not only match today's exacting home video standards, but help rescue them from potential deterioration and obscurity for future generations of film lovers across the globe. Celluloid Dreams is also committed to providing in-depth bonus features for all of its releases. Working closely with filmmakers and cast members, the releases will assemble existing extras as well as complement them with newly created materials, all devoted to fulfilling the company's goal of creating a definitive, comprehensive package for each release, presenting the film with state-of-the-art technology, but also charting the history of the film itself, the production, the people behind it, its impact, and its relevance. Our goal is entirely quality focused, and we handpick each movie, films that we love ourselves, and we will make every effort to fully restore each of these films to push them to their original glory, always with an eye to the original theatrical presentation as the guidepost. This guy says everything right, says Celluloid Dreams CEO and film preservationist Lucas Henkel. With major studios and retailers continually pulling back in their releases and distribution of physical media, smaller and obscure films are the casualties, fading into the unavailability or out-of-print status, which is exactly what's going to happen in the streaming age. Celluloid Dreams wholeheartedly supports physical media with multi-disc combo releases containing standard Blu-rays and 4K Blu-ray versions in a single package. We are very selective with our films, and our release schedule will be determined solely by the time it takes to polish and craft each release. Look for releases starting in early 2024. Well, good on you, people. Cellular Dreams
But it's a new US label, then. A new US label.
New label.
Hey.
Yeah, new label, baby.
Awesome.
A Case of the Bloody Iris. So there you go.
Hey.
And then here we go in terms of sales figures. By the way, there are other discs that are coming out, but I just always pick the ones I think are the most interesting.
Yeah.
So top 20 sellers for the week. And, of course, we've got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
What a surprise. Oh, wait. No, it's not. Part 1, we have Barbie. We have Blue Beetle. Meg 2.
Nice.
Transformers Rise the Beach. Transformers Rise the Beach. The Beaches. The Beast. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Super Mario Brothers. Haunted Mansion. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and Prey. Nothing really, but that's overall. The top Blu-ray bestsellers are Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Barbie, Blue Beetle, Meg 2, Transformers, Retribution, Justice League, and Superheroes and the Huntsman Part 2. Justice League is, what is that? RWBY? I don't know what that is. It's another animated title from Warner. Sounds cool. Yeah. I'll watch it. My Big Fat Greek Wedding, The Flash, and Super Mario Brothers is up there.
I think it's some sort of crossover. Rob.
Yeah, with WWF or something. And then something the top 4K discs, again, Mission Impossible, Blue Beetle, Barbie, Transformers, Meg 2, Enter the Dragon. Ooh. Like to see that. Schindler's List, a movie that everybody these days should watch. I wonder why. Prey, Scarface, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So Schindler's List and Enter the Dragon, two big catalog titles out from Universal.
From number 38 to up to number 6, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, there you go. It jumped up because people are buying it in 4K. You know, it's Schindler's List has been released before in 4K. And not very long ago. But they have a new box set. They've added the new box set. Schindler's List, or as it should be retitled these days, don't forget, the Jews suffered more than you did. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but it's a joke. I'm Jewish. What can I say? I can make that joke. Not a very good joke, but no. I'll tell you something. I do think Schindler's List has one of my favorite sequences that Spielberg directed at the beginning when Oskar Schindler is ingratiating himself to the German high command. That whole sequence when he's buying everybody drinks, and that's one of my favorite things Spielberg ever directed. I love that sequence. It's amazing. Right. I mean, I don't like to say this, but I find some of Schindler's List to be wildly entertaining. You're probably not supposed to think that, but I just think it's an incredibly well made movie, and I quite enjoy it. So that's basically all the news.
Movies can entertain in different ways.
In
Rob.
different ways.
You know?
In different ways. I pardon you. That's it, man. That's all the news we got, brother.
Are we through with the super chats, Rob?
I don't know. People have been very chatty today, which is good. Let's see.
I think we are. I think.
Yeah, I think it looks like we are. Hang on there. You never know. Somebody might at the last minute want to have something to say or get mad at me.
Exactly.
No, we're caught up. We are caught up, sir.
Okay. I have one thing left to show, but I will save it for next week, which will be fitting. Yeah, let's save it for next week, Rob. Let's save it for next week.
All right, we're gonna send COVID. What?
Or are you really that curious, Rob?
No, I'm really that curious.
Okay.
Come on.
It's nothing special, Rob. Rob and I are not in a competition who has more stuff, or there's only one competition. Who has more Live and Die in LA or Hunger Games stuff? It's the only competition that we two have.
Oh no.
And I saw something, Rob, and I said, "Oh, look at those juicy covers." And I bought it. I will show it. I don't want to hear anything. I just show it, and then we'll move on. We finish the show. Look at that blue, like my football club, blue, black.
Yeah, that's cool.
White.
Okay, now you got to come clean with the folks at home, Dieter. How many copies of the Hunger Games? Oh, look at that. Is that from Italy?
Exactly, Rob.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. From Italy.
So you rock the Italian 4K.
From Italy, because in Italy it's getting distributed from Universal, actually.
So not Lionsgate.
And it says Lionsgate, of course, but it is then Universal. And let me just see, there was the cover artwork for the disc is really nice. So you got Katniss and snow on.
Dude, I gotta ask, dude. I mean, you're now that you're getting a fifth Hunger Games movie that's supposedly great, directed by Francis Lawrence. Everyone loves it.
Absolutely.
Can you tell the folks at home how many copies of the Hunger Games do you even own?
I have to count, Rob. I have to count. I can tell you. And the problem is, Rob, they don't differ in the quality. It's not that this is a new quality.
That's a new box. I gotta tell you, that box is a little lackluster, though. That cover.
Yeah, but I just loved the design, the cover artwork.
You just love touching your breasts, I can tell.
We already have the steelbook version, so that's already enough to have. But what can I say? I love the blue. It's from Italy, Rob. That's the problem, Rob. Considering the distribution from different studios.
I know.
Great cover here, like you with To Live and Die in LA. Look at that French version. Comes with the book,
Well, yeah.
So we don't buy those editions not for better quality. There could be one thing that could be in here where you would think, oh, that's great, but it's of course not. So the 4K is still 235:1, even the 4K here in this set doesn't come with the changing aspect ratio. So it's like all the other releases. So really have to finish, and I have to say, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. And with that, I say to all of you, have a better day. I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson and all of our moderators, including Justin Toner, for being here. I want to thank everybody for generously supporting the channel via Super Chats and tips. Thank you very much. Keep on the lookout for our Nathan Heler Kickstarter because, hey, you're going to make that happen. Remember, our Kickstarter stars the Kickstarter doesn't star the great, even though he's in it. Nathan Heller is played by Todd Stashwick. There he is. Took that picture right outside his old apartment. Look at that with that. He looks very private eye-ish, I think. But it's going to be great. So keep a lookout for that.
The part that you recorded, Rob, is the beginning of the story, or just in the?
It's kind of a standalone thing. It just kind of introduced you to him. So it's not like but you'll get a flavor of how it's going to sound and how Todd Stashwick comes off as Nathan Heller. So we're very, very excited about that. And remember, if you're interested, hey, you want to just dip into the Nathan Heller story, you can get Too Many Bullets. Max Allen Collins' Too Many Bullets. It's out now. It dropped last October 10th. So it's only been out a month. This is the 19th Nathan Heller novel.
Ooh.
So very, very exciting, I think. All right, Dieter, I will let you go. I hope that you feel better, get 100%, and now that you're COVID-free. But my friend, enjoy the week. I'll be back here next week with more physical media. Next week is the beginning of American Thanksgiving week. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. So this was the first episode, Rob, of our 4th season, actually.
Oh, that's right, because Des said we can have a 4th season.
Yeah, this is the 4th season.
Wow, that's crazy. Season 4. We're getting a little stale in the graphics, so I got to take care of that. All right, sir. Goodbye.
See you next week.
All right, we are ended, dude.